Welcome everyone to chair yoga. So sitting comfortably in your chair, walking the hips back so that you can relax your back, extending the feet out a little bit in front of you. We'll just take a few moments to relax the body, preparing for our practice. So resting the hands in the lap. Just go ahead and close the eyes or drop the gaze. And turn the attention inward. Just taking note as to how your body feels. Especially noting any areas of tension or tightness. And then we'll take 2 deep cleansing breaths. So take a nice big inhale through the nose and exhale it all out by blowing or sighing it out. And one more nice big inhale and exhale it all out. And then soften the muscles of the face. Relax the muscles of the neck. And the shoulders. And then turn the attention to the breath. Notice the inhale. And notice the inhale, the exhale. And then we'll begin a nice even breathing. Inhaling and exhaling to a count of 4. So inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. And just continue with this nice, even breathing. If at any time it makes you lightheaded or dizzy, just go back to a normal breathing pattern. And then we also set an intention for each practice to help remind us why we are here. So that may be a benefit you would like to receive, or just an uplifting or a positive thought or phrase. So think of an intention that you'd like to have for your practice today. And then with your next inhale, go ahead and lift your head and open your eyes. And we'll go ahead and begin the warm-up by turning our heads to look out over the right shoulder. And coming back to center and turning to look out over the left. and back to center, dropping the chin to the chest. And then picking the chin up towards the ceiling and jutting that lower jaw out. And coming back to center and dropping the right ear to the right shoulder. And back to center and left ear to left shoulder. And back to center. And then extending the hands out in front, open and close the fingers. And then some wrist circles. And reverse. Good. And then taking your right arm, just bring it alongside your body. Have a bend in your elbow and press your palms forward. So you're doing what's called a wrist extension. Very gently take your left palm and place it across your right fingers so that you just apply some very gentle pressure here. Really make sure there isn't any pain or discomfort. You're just getting a nice stretch here on the underside of that forearm. Good. And then switch arms. So again, keep that bend in the left elbow. Just use your right palm to very gently kind of push those left fingers back. I don't even want to say push them back because I don't want you to do it that much. Just putting a little bit of pressure. And again, no pain or discomfort here. Good. And then release. Shake those wrists out. And then bringing the hands in front of you, we're going to do what's called finger digs. So we're going to pretend we're digging a little hole in the ground, like you want to plant a seed. And just move those index fingers. So that digging motion with those fingers. Good. Now go to the middle finger. Yes, it's going to get a little harder. Fine motor control. Try the ring finger. Good. And then your pinkies. Good. And then the thumbs are going to be hard. So I just do some thumb circles here just to warm up the joints. Maybe bend and extend. Good. All right, wiggle those fingers, bring the arms down, wiggle them out. If you did have your legs extended, just walk them back in so you can sit up nice and tall. And then we'll do some shrugs. Good. The next time you pick the shoulders up, we'll roll them to the back. Good. And bringing those shoulders down, we're going to do a warm-up called IYT, because that's the formation we're going to bring our arms. So we'll start with our arms extended, and we'll then come into an I. So just bring those arms straight up. Come back to center and go into a Y, which is now on that diagonal. Good. Back to center, and then a T is just open out to the side. Good. Come back to center. Let's try it again. So we have I, Y, good, and T. Good. How about one more? I, Y, and T. Good. And then the next move we're going to do is called climbing the rope. So we're just going to reach up as if we're pulling ourselves up a rope. Good. And we're going to do actually an upper body warm up before we come up to standing. So this will help warm up those muscles. Good. All right, go ahead and bring those arms down and then just wiggle it out a little bit. And then bringing the right arm alongside the body. If you'd like to hold on to your chair, you can. Well, oops. Okay, never mind. I just thought of something. I'm getting ahead of myself, but that's okay. Inhale, bring that left arm up, and exhale, then to the right. Good. Coming back to center, and switch. Inhale, right arm up, and exhale to the left. Good. Come back to center. Okay, now I'm going to add the lower body because I forgot that before, but that's okay. All right, extend that right leg, point and flex the foot. Good, and then some ankle circles. And reverse. Good, and switch legs. Point and flex. And circles. Good, and reverse. And bringing that left leg back in. Then taking the right leg, sliding it out in front of you. Keep your toes on the floor. Then lifting that leg, flex your foot as you slowly bend the knee and bring that foot back to the starting point. Good. And then again, slide and lift. Slowly bend. Good. Couple more. Good. Last one. Good. And then on the left, slide and lift. Slowly bend it in. Good. We're warming up the knee and the quad. Good. Let's do one more. Good. Now for the next one, we're going to focus on the hip. We're going to do this little hip walk up to the edge of the chair. And then extending the right leg, just keeping the foot flat. You're just going to slide your leg in and out. Good. One more. Good. And then same thing on the left. Just extend the leg and then slide it out to the side and back in. Good. And come back to center. And then go ahead and walk the hips back a little bit. And then taking the left hand, place it on the right knee. We'll come into a twist. So take a nice big inhale to extend the spine, and then exhale, turn and look to the right. Good, and then release back to center. Switch hands, inhale, and to exhale, turn as you look to the left. Good, and then releasing back to center, place the hands on the thighs, and we're going to do a spinal warm-up called cat-cow. So it's arching for cow, and then rounding the back for cat. If you do have osteoporosis, just eliminate the cat or that rounding part, and just keep the spine in neutral. All right, so we'll start in cow. So with an inhale, bring the chest forward, then lift the chest and chin up. So you're arching through mainly the mid part of the spine. Good. And then with your exhale, either rounding the spine, dropping the chin to the chest, or just keeping the spine in neutral for cat. And then inhale back to cow. Exhale into cat or neutral. So you're just doing this nice kind of rhythmic movement. Inhaling, arching, exhaling, rounding or neutral. Good. Once more. Inhale and exhale. Good. And then coming back to neutral and sitting, I don't know, maybe about midway or so. You just want to have some room to move in the chair. So I mentioned we are going to do an upper body warm-up before we come up to standing. So I'll go through the movements with you. It's very easy. We'll do it a couple of times. So we'll start with the arms alongside the body, sitting up nice and tall. With your inhale, just sweep those arms up, bring the palms together, and to exhale, bring the hands to the heart. We're going to do that once more. Inhale, good, and exhale. Then we're going to extend the palms out in front of us, and then exhale, pull them back in. Squeeze those shoulder blades. Good, and forward, and back. Good, once more here. Good, and then extending the arms out in front, turn the palms so they're now facing each other. Inhale to lengthen, and with the exhale, keep the left arm forward and then bring that right arm out to the side and around behind you as you look to the right. Good, and then exhale, bring it back to center. Inhale, and to exhale to the left. Good. Exhale, back to center. Now, open the arms nice and wide, and then give yourself a hug. Good. Open back up. Give yourself, only this time, switch the top arm as you hug again. Good. Then bring the arms out to the side, bend the elbows. Now this is good. You're going to have to use your brain here. As you bring your elbows together, step your right leg out wide. So we're going to do the opposite of what the arms are going to do. Go back out wide. Step the left leg as you bring them in. Good. Let's try that one once more. Good. All right. So we're going to repeat those. Bring the arms down if you want to shake it out a little bit. We'll start with our Anjali Mudra. So inhale and exhale. And again, inhale and exhale. Good. Extend the arms forward. Pull it back like you're opening a drawer. Good. Once more. Good. Extend the arms. Turn the palms. Inhale. Exhale. Sweeping turn to the right. And then exhale back to center. Inhale and exhale to the left. Good. Inhale back to center. Open those arms back up. Give yourself a hug. Good. Open. This time, switch the top arm. Good. Out to the side. Bend the elbows as you bring them in. Take your right knee out to the side. Then the left. Good. Once more each side. Good. Bring those arms down. All right. Now that you know what you're doing, we're going to do it one more time. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Extend those arms. Pull it back. Good. Once more here. Good. Extend those arms. Inhale. Exhale. Sweep it out to the right. Exhale back to center. Good. Inhale and exhale to the left. Good. Release back to center. Sweep those arms out. Open the chest. Give yourself a big hug. Good. Inhale. Switch that top arm. Good. Exhale out. Bend the elbows, palms forward. Bring them in. Step that leg out wide. Good. Once more each side. Good. All right, bring those arms down, wiggle it out. Good. All right, go ahead and walk the hips up to the edge of the chair. We'll come up to standing. If you have your water nearby, grab a drink, and then we'll come into our standing postures. I'm actually going to bring that over here. Okay. All right, so standing in Tadasana, which is our beginning standing posture, finding the four corners of the feet. So distributing the weight between the balls of the feet and the heels, tightening up through the front of the thighs, lift and tighten the abdominals, bring the arms alongside the body a few inches away from it, palms facing each other. Focus on the spine, lengthening up from the tailbone all the way up to the crown of the head. Lift the shoulders, roll them down the back. Stack the ears over the shoulders. Good. And then gazing forward, come back to your nice, even breathing. Good. And then with an inhale, we're going to come back up to bringing those palms together. Clasp the hands and just have your index fingers pointing up. And then with your next inhale, lengthen up. And with the exhale, we'll do a little bend to the right. Only come down as far as you can that you don't start collapsing the chest forward. Release to center. Lengthen and exhale to the left. Good. Try it once more. Exhale, center, lengthen up. Exhale to the right. Center. Good. And exhale, left. Good. Come back to center. Release those arms. Wiggle it out. And we're going to now do a little twist, but we're going to challenge our balance too. So if it becomes too much, either have the chair to the side so you can hold on to it, or just eliminate this part where we're going to bring our toe forward. So we'll start by holding on to our opposite forearms. Take a nice big inhale. Keep that left knee loose, so don't hyperextend it. We're going to turn to the right, but as you do that, see if you can just bring your right toe forward. It's going to give you a little bit of instability, so you're going to work on that balance. Good. Come back to center. Relax it out. Let's try it once more. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, turn to the right. Now, if that makes you too unsteady, just bring that right foot back in and just do your twist here. Good. Exhale back to center. And then we'll try it on the other side. If you want to come around your chair or move your chair, go ahead and do that. Inhale. Bring that left toe forward. And then exhale. Turn to the left. Good. Exhale back to center. Inhale, exhale left. Good. And release back to center. Good. Step that left foot back. So now we're going to do kind of similar to what we did seated, which is called a little vinyasa. We do them every once in a while. It just means movement to the breath. So you're just kind of flowing from one movement to the other. So now we're going to do a standing vinyasa. So it has 4 movements to it. We're going to start on the right side. So if you do want to have a chair for support, go ahead and bring it over to your left side. So we'll go through it the first time kind of slow, and then we'll pick up the pace a little bit. So the first movement is a forward lunge. So you're going to pick up that right foot, step it forward, bend that knee, and bring your arm out in front. Now, if you want to do both, that's fine, or you can keep a hand on the chair. Good. Now, step back to center. Second movement, you're going to go a little bit wide, just about hip width. And then with your exhale, we'll come into chair pose. And we'll bring the arms forward here. Good. And then inhale, as you come back up, step that right foot back to center, and then it's going to come behind you. The arms will come behind you. Bring the torso forward just a little bit. We call this airplane pose. Again, keep a hand on the chair if you need to. And then, with an inhale, lift the torso, bend the right knee, sweep it forward as you come into stork pose. And you can balance here if you'd like, or keep a hand on the chair. Good. And then release it down. That would be your exhale. So those are the 4 movements. We're going to try to put those together with the breath. So you're just going to flow kind of from one to the other. All right, so here we go with our lunge. This is our inhale. So you step forward. Exhale back to center. Inhale, step a little bit wide. Exhale into chair. Inhale as you come back to center. Take that right leg behind you. And then exhale, bring the arms behind you. You can lift the right foot if you want. Keep the toes on the floor, hand on the chair. Whatever is the challenge. Good. And then with your next inhale, sweep the knee forward. See if you can come into stork. Again, keep a hand here. And exhale, bring that arm down. All right, here we go. One more time. Inhale as you lunge. Exhale, center. Inhale. Exhale, chair. Inhale as you step that right foot in, then bring it behind you. And then exhale, coming into airplane. Inhale, come right into stork. Good. And then exhale, bring those arms down, release that right leg. Walk it out, shake out that left leg. And we'll try it on the other side. All right, so same moves, just on that left side. So inhale, lunge. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, step wide. Exhale, coming into chair. Good. With your next inhale, come on up. Step the foot in, and then behind you. Exhale, bring the arms behind. That's a little counterbalance there. As you come into airplane, you can keep your toes on the floor. And then inhale, coming into stork. Good. Exhale, release. All right, here we go. Let's try it again. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale into chair. Inhale up, bring that foot in, and then behind you. Good. And then exhale as you come into airplane. And then inhale right into stork, maybe balancing here. Good. And exhale, bring the arms down. All right, last time on the left. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, just hip width. Exhale into chair. Good. Take a full breath here. Inhale, come on up. As you step that leg in, then bring the left toes behind you. And exhale, come into airplane. Good. With your next inhale, this will challenge your balance. Bring that knee forward. Keep a hand on the chair if you need to. Good. And then exhale, release that left leg. Shake out the right. Good. All right, so now we're going to come into downward facing dog just to stretch it all out. So coming behind the chair, place your hands on the chair. Walk those feet behind. Bend the knees as you extend through the arms and the shoulders. Pull the shoulders down the back and then begin to drop the chest and head down towards the floor. And focus on the low back. So keeping that bend in the knees kind of keeps that low back straight. If your hamstrings are a little more flexible, then you can start straightening the legs. But make sure it's not at the expense of that low back. And there shouldn't be any pain or discomfort in the legs. Good. And just take a few breaths. Good. And then to come out of the pose, bend the knees as you begin to walk into the chair and lift the torso. Good. All right, still standing behind the chair, go ahead and turn to your right so that your left hand is on the chair. And we're going to come into a posture called half moon pose. So we're going to shift the weight into the right leg. Take your left toes and just take them out to the side. And then you may have to kind of play around with how far you are from the chair. So you are going to shift the weight over into that right leg. If you can, we'll be picking up the left leg, either extending the left arm up or putting it on your hip. Now, what you want to keep in line here are your shoulders, so keep that chest open. The pelvis stays facing forward. Good. All right. So go ahead and lift. You're really going to feel this in the glutes. Good. And continue to breathe. If that's, you don't have to bring your leg all the way up here. If that's too much, just anywhere off the ground, you're going to use those glutes to keep it up. Good. All right. Bring that left leg down. Walk it out. Shake out that right leg. And we'll try it on the other side. I'm going to turn this way. Good. All right. So let's put the right hand on the chair. Right hand in the weight in the right leg. Left toes out to the side. Good. And again, you're just going to do this little tilt to the right so that you can extend the left leg. Bring the left hand to the hip. Good. And continue to breathe. If you want to extend that arm, you can. Good. And then bring that left leg down, walk it out, shake it out. Good. All right. Grab a drink. We're going to have a seat. Again. Turn on the diagonal here. All right. So we're now going to work the core. So you want to work your hips up to the edge of the chair. And then bringing your hands onto the seat of the chair. So you want to hold on to the seat of the chair. Bring your feet a little bit in front. Just going to scooch them forward a little bit. So what we're going to do is press into our hands and see if we can lift our hips up off the chair. So you're going to feel that in the shoulders. Try to, oops, sorry about that. Keep the shoulders down. Hold on one second. silence that. Okay. All right, so hands are on the chair. You're pressing into those hands and working the shoulders to see if you can lift your hips. So this is the first step. We're coming into what's called reverse tabletop. So you'll want to pick those hips up. If this is a challenge for you, then just stay here and work on this. If you're okay here, this is where your feet will need to be a little bit out in front of you, because we're going to pick up the hips and then we're going to shift the hips forward. But you don't want your knees going past your toes, so that's why you walk your feet forward. Then see if you can lift your hips up and then lift the chest and look up, okay? So you're supporting yourself here. So just relax it back to that beginning point. Whatever is a challenge for you, it does build a lot of upper body strength. All right, so here we go. With your inhale, again, just stay here, see if you can lift your hips, relax it out, try it again. Or as you lift, shift those hips forward. Good. Lifting the hips, extending the chest and looking up. And breathing. Continue to breathe. Good. And then with your exhale, bring those hips back down. Release those arms. Shake it out. And then, since we're already at the edge of the chair, we're going to come back to bringing our hands. This time you want your hands a little bit behind your hips. And as you do that, you see how that opens up your chest. So wherever you need to put your hands, you know, depending on your chair, maybe holding on to the legs of the chair if that's more comfortable. All right, so we're going to do a little back bend. With an inhale, we're going to lift the chest and then exhale, looking up. So you're bending from the mid-spine, really opening up the chest as you squeeze your shoulder blades. This is a great stretch for the chest and counteracting that slumping forward that we tend to do over the computer or even just reading, things like that. Good. And then with the exhale, go ahead and release it, shake it out. Good. We've worked that upper body a lot today. All right. Let me come back to facing forwards. So we'll come into a twist. The twist is great for neutralizing the spine. So having the knees facing forward, we're just going to shuffle our feet over to the right. So you can see our knees are angled a little bit to the right now. We'll take the right hand, place it on the left knee, inhale to lengthen the spine, and then exhale, turn and look to the left. Good. Come back to your nice, even breathing. Good. And then exhale, release back to center. And then we'll try it on the other side. So shifting those feet over. Good. Inhale to lengthen. Left hand on the right knee as you exhale and turn to the right. Good, and then release back to center. Just shuffle the feet back to center. Do a little hip walk to the edge of your chair. And we'll extend the right leg out in front. Heel is on the floor, toes pointing up. And then take your left foot and place your left heel on top of your right toes. So sitting here, you should feel a nice stretch in that left hamstring. If you're a little more flexible and want to deepen that stretch, then bending from the hip, think of just bringing the chest forward a little bit. That low back stays straight. Good, and continue to breathe. Good, and then inhale, bringing the torso up. Go ahead and release that left leg. And then we'll repeat the same thing on the right. So make sure that you're on your left heel so that you can stack your right heel on the left toes. Good. And then again, just bending from the hip. You should feel a deepening in this stretch on the right side. And just feeling a nice deep stretch, no pain. There shouldn't even be any discomfort. Good, and then inhale, bring that torso up, release the legs, and coming back to about midway in the chair, we're going to come into eagle pose. So we'll start with crossing the legs. If you've been told not to cross on the thighs, just cross the ankles. And we'll do the right foot over the left ankle or the right thigh over the left, and then possibly even crossing the lower legs. So whatever is good for you, either ankles, thighs, or even wrapping the lower legs. You want to be able to sit up nice and tall. Extend the arms out in front, palms facing forward. We'll take the left arm, cross it over the right, just above that elbow. Come back to giving yourself a big hug. See if you can lift the elbows. Your option is to stay here or crossing the lower arms. Good, and then we'll come back to our nice, even breathing. Good, and then slowly unwrap those arms, unwrap your legs, and we'll try it on the other side. So either ankles cross, left thigh over the right, or possibly even crossing the lower legs. Inhale, sit up nice and tall, arms come out. This time the right arm will cross over the left. So we'll do the opposite. Okay. And coming into hugs, or then wrapping the lower arms. Good, and breathing. Good, and then slowly unwrap those arms, unwrap the legs, shake it out. And then walking the hips back up to the edge of the chair as you widen your knees, come into this wide stance. And then we'll stretch through the inner thigh and the hip joint. So placing the forearms against the inner thighs. Inhale to lengthen. And then exhale, you're just going to tip forward from the hip. So you're just rotating your pelvis forward. The back stays straight. And just press those forearms into the inner thighs. And you should feel a nice stretch. And take a few breaths. Good, and then with the inhale, go ahead and come on up. Take those feet, walk them back in, and then a little hip walk all the way to the back of the chair, coming back into that nice, safe and relaxed position. Hands resting in the lap. The back is supported by the back of the chair. And just go ahead and close the eyes. Returning the attention to the breath. Notice the inhale. And notice the exhale. After your next inhale, begin to lengthen the exhale. And continue lengthening each exhale until they become about twice as long as the inhale. And then focus on the physical body. Relax all the muscles from the feet all the way up to the crown of the head. Release any tension. Or tightness. And then focus on the mind. Release any thoughts, worries, or anxieties. If these try to come back in, just acknowledge them and release them. Turning the attention back to the breath. Again, notice the inhale. And notice the exhale. Allow yourself just a few moments to completely let go. begin to deepen your breath. And then start moving the fingers and toes. And then the wrists and the ankles. And slowly bending one knee and then the other. And keeping the body relaxed and the eyes closed for another moment, focus on the intention that you set at the beginning of the practice. And then we'll take one more deep cleansing breath. So take a nice big inhale and exhale it all out. And then go ahead and lift your head and open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.